So oftentimes in dealing with difficult issues, for people who have been through difficult circumstances, they find themselves feeling defeated, feeling demotivated, feeling lost. And oftentimes they find themselves feeling as though they don't have anything that they can do and they feel powerless. I'm really, really glad to be here today at Pourakhi Nepal, where that's not the case. Where you have an organization that's set up today because a woman and others who had gone through the situation of being trafficked or being migrated through illegal means and so forth have suffered different situations. They decided to set up an organization to intervene and help other women who've been trafficked, women who are victims of modern slavery, women who are in very difficult circumstances, some coming with mental health issues, some impregnated, some with stateless children, and they are intervening. And I'm here today because the UN has been supporting this kind of work here in Nepal, but I want to understand it for myself. I want to meet the people who set up Pourakhi Nepal. I want to meet the women who have been benefiting from Pourakhi Nepal. And I want to make sure that as the United Nations sets forth its next 5 years partnership in Nepal, that I have a deep understanding of what the issues are. So I'm here today with Pourakhi Nepal and hoping to get a better understanding.
This is a kind of a crisis management center. We have a coordination and collaboration with many human rights organizations in countries of destination like Lebanon, Israel, Gulf countries, UAE, and Malaysia. From there, we bring the clients to our emergency shelter home, and then first, while taking the case, we do some screening regarding the health, and if the person have a mental health problem or physical problem, so accordingly we provide the services.
In a country where I worked before, what was found is that traffickers have such a network that even within the airport, they snatch these women upon return to try to re-traffic them. So I'm just wondering if that's the same situation in Nepal.
It exists same problem here in Nepal as well. But what we are doing is we have very close coordination with immigration office and security personnel inside the airport. So we want to avoid this kind of issues.
Trafficking is a crime already as it is, but this is even worse. It's a double crime, isn't it?
Yes.
When the person wants to make their choice to go back home and you don't allow them to make a choice, it is imprisonment.
Yeah. And also sometimes women are not being able to make a decision. They are lured and they are trapped by the social stigma and discrimination within their family, within their community. The majority of Nepali women, they are migrating as a domestic worker in GCC countries and other Middle East countries. But the government of Nepal has a ban for them. So due to ban, the traffickers are they are much we are flourished.
So what's your advice?
The government should have they have to follow they have to ensure the fair and ethical recruitment practice, and the government should have women domestic worker friendly bilateral agreement with country of destination.
Who handles the issue of the stateless children? Who deals with the issue of health care for the children that come with these women, or women who come pregnant and they have the baby?
We have a network, a national network for safe migration. It has 25 organization, and through this network also we pressure the government to address all these issues.
Migration is not a bad thing.
It is.
You know, migrant work is not a bad thing. If it's formal, if it's structured, if it's fair, if it's just, if it's done within a system, and there's fair labor wages, and you know, it's a good thing if people have an opportunity in another country to go and work. Technically, I'm a migrant worker. Yes. I'm working in another country. Yes. But on a very serious note, though, we want women and men treated fairly. We want justice in labor wages and in how people are treated. You know, we want fair contracts. We want the destination countries to receive them as labor migrants and have them protected under the law wherever they are. So if it's done properly, it's a good thing. But if it's not done properly, what do you think can be done differently for women or men not to engage in these informal, illegal, risky, life-threatening situations such as the trafficking in persons that's done under the guise of labor migration?
And it has to be a political issue by every country of origin. So unless it is a political issue, the politicians and policymakers will not engage.
I know a lot is happening to prevent trafficking, but so much more needs to happen because women are being enslaved. Women and men, but we're talking about women today.
Yes.
And the slavery that's happening today in 2021, in the 21st century, is just taking on a different form, but it's slavery nonetheless. And no woman or man should be subjected to that.